Thank you, and thank you for members of the forum for permitting us to be here today. I also want to acknowledge the elected officials who are in the room, and thank you for your service to our state. My name is Rob Cornilles. Before we began, you all said what you would like to see or advice you would give to a congressperson. And a few of you talked about integrity and honesty. And I wasn't planning on sharing this story, but in light of that comment, I'd like to share with you something that I was taught as a young boy by my grandfather, whose name is, he probably will be upset that I'm talking about him publicly, but his name is Tom Emmett. He lives in Beaverton, in the Bethany district to be specific. My grandfather's just turned 98 years old. And by the way, he could beat any of you in a sprint, so watch out. My grandfather was someone who only got barely a high school education when he was in Oregon, moved here as a young boy. And he essentially raised his two sisters and his mom because his father was incapable of working. And he was the youngest in the family. And he was the breadwinner. He had no college education, but because of the opportunity found in Oregon, he raised a business. He became very successful in his industry. He retired too early as far as I'm concerned. But one of the stories he taught me when he was in business and I was a young boy was a lesson that I would like to share with you. He said one time he was looking to hire a gentleman by the name of Charlie. And he was speaking to Phil, who also knew Charlie. Phil was in Tom's office that day. And he said, "Phil, I'm thinking about hiring Charlie. You know Charlie. Tell me what you can about him as I consider him. Is he pretty honest?" And Phil looked at Tom across the desk, and he leaned across the desk and he said, "Tom, what do you mean pretty honest? You either are or you aren't." And that's a lesson that I've taken with me through my growing up years here in Oregon, as a husband and a father myself, as a business owner, and a lesson and a principle I will take with me to Congress. You can't be kind of honest. You either have integrity or you don't. How it's manifested is what I think people are most concerned about. Now, why am I running for Congress? As I mentioned, I am from the state of Oregon. I was born here in the Portland area, grew up in Washington County, met my wife in Yamhill County, where we both went to high school at Newburgh. We've been married almost 24 years. We have 3 sons, ages 20, 16, and 13. I started a business 15 years ago in Tualatin called Game Face. Game Face is an unusual business for the state of Oregon because I only have 1% of my clientele local. 99% of the business that I get, I have to get on an airplane at PDX to go see my clients. What do? We are a business consultant to professional sports teams and entertainment companies around the world. So specifically, 400 sports franchises contract with GameFace to work with them to improve their business practice, to become a more viable, a more community-centric, a more profitable business. My clients include the New York Mets, the St. Louis Cardinals, the LA Dodgers, the Boston Celtics, the Chicago Bulls, the Miami Dolphins, the Denver Broncos, the Chicago Bears, and about 390 some odd other teams around the world. Yes, they come all the way to Little Tualatin, Oregon to get business advice. What do they ask us to do? They ask us to help them to raise revenues responsibly. They can't do it irresponsibly because they will get charred in the press and in the community if they do. Second, how do you create a more efficient operation? And third, how do you get the most productivity out of your people? And I've been in this industry for the last 20 years, and I've decided last year I was the first person that you have seen in recent forums here, with the exception of Alan Alley. I was the first person to declare my candidacy for office, for a federal or state office. Why? Because the 3 things I do for my clients: raise revenues responsibly, cut expenses where necessary, and get more out of our people are the 3 things we need in Congress today. It's not about what you got your education in, it's about what you do. And I bring results to clients all over the country, regardless of party affiliation, regardless of background, and regarding those markets, regardless of the makeup, the diversity of those markets. I am fortunate enough with my great employees to bring results. And I intend to do that for the state that I love, because David Wu has not been doing that for District 1. He has been an ineffective representative. We can do better. We must do better. Our kids and grandchildren deserve better, and I look forward to making my case today and in other forums with you. I ask for your vote. My name is Rob Cornilles. Thank you very much.